On Zoom.
Forward on
Good.
Zoom. Good.
Look,
Look,
people broken down on the side of the road.
people
That
broken
sucks.
down on the side of the road. That sucks.
Just waiting for
Just
Will.
waiting for Will.
I'll eventually have music
I'll
to play.
eventually have music to play.
Rico
will definitely have
stuff.
stuff.
He says I can use his fat beats anytime,
anywhere.
He won't
copyright claim me,
also
which is
cool.
also cool.
Oh man, the
Oh
sun's
man, the sun's gonna be killer. There we
Block that
go.
out.
Block that out.
Yeah, that's what I look
Yeah,
like.
that's what I look like today. Yeah.
I need to find a better way to
attach this.
Actually, my scarf
might be perfect.
Put that
Put that right there.
Yeah, this could be
more of a pilot
than
episode than anything else.
Oh no,
Oh
Will's not connected to audio.
Will's not connected to audio.
There we go.
There we go.
Will's. It's Will!
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you,
Yeah.
Will! Hey, buddy!
All right, and so we're good now, right?
Yeah, so I'm recording on Zoom, so you probably got that message. I'm recording on my lapel. I'm also recording on my 360 camera here on my... I'm trying to out a different kind of content, more of like an interview, vlog, panel type thing. Thanks for... This is really the pilot, man. We're pioneering this right now.
Yeah. All right. I'm glad to be part of the beginning of this, man. Pioneering some good stuff, some good content. Let's do this.
Yeah. So, we're going to just do a few quick fire questions. We're going to... It's meant to, think on the spot. Typically, I'd send this to you ahead of time, but this is the pilot. Fuck it. This is going all out the window, man.
Yeah.
How do you like your steaks cooked, or meat, or fish?
Oh, shit. Rare or raw?
So long as it's dead.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
A man after my own heart.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a groundhog on a ride?
Nope.
Or sorry, it's
No.
prairie dog. So no prairie dogs, good. What has been your most embarrassing moment on a Super 73?
Most embarrassing moment on a Super 73 would be getting smoked by the R and S models until I recently modified my Z1, and now I'm smoking fools.
Yeah, so I saw Moses' video, and you were in a lot of his video because you two were at the front. That was awesome. What, you smashed like 37?
No, I'm like hitting like 33, 34-ish, Downhills definitely at the 36, 37 mark, maybe a little higher. But on flats, 33, 34-ish.
Refried beans or pinto beans?
That's a trick question. I like refried pinto beans.
Oh my god. When life gives you two choices, you just chose both. I like that, Will.
Gotta love beans, man. It's the best. It's one of the best fruits out there, right?
Yep.
Beans.
Gotta love them.
It's vital in the recipe for Dutch ovens. Like, you know, that like the egg for the ramen.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. That's the key ingredient right there. Let me tell you.
Are you a top or a bottom?
Definitely the top. Definitely the top.
I'm a top, baby.
The other person's the screw, and I'm the driver.
Leave it at that.
All right, no.
That's
Well,
when you say you be the screw, I'll be the
Driver. I'm the driver, man.
no, man, this is gonna be some awesome content. And imagine this in a panel format.
Sure.
We'll end on an
I'm with
easy
it.
one. Favorite Super 73 memory so far?
I would definitely have to say the San Diego trip that we did, the ride just a few weeks ago for charity. That was really cool. That was really nice to be a big part of something that's growing, and the people seem to be really about the community, and that ride was, you know, about support and charity, and that's, with how fortunate we are to have the toys we have, and our Super 73s, that's pretty awesome to be able to give back. So definitely the San Diego charity ride has been my most favorite so far, most memorable.
Awesome. No more weird or awkward questions or fun questions. There'll be more fun questions, but pilot.
Okay.
We're just getting it out there.
Shoot.
I was gonna do e-bikes in the news. There's gonna be a segment for e-bikes in the news, but when I was researching e-bikes in the news, it was really, really hard to actually find stuff that weren't, oh, this is the best budget bike, or oh, this is like a new bike, this is a review. So let's go for something easy. Simon Cowell fucking himself on what was called an e-bike, but really wasn't. It was like a Suron, right?
Sure. Yeah.
It didn't have pedals for damn sure.
Okay. Yeah. Then it's not, right. If it doesn't have the pedals, it's not e-bike no more.
But in a lot of the headlines, it said Simon Cowell hurts himself on an e-bike. And how do you feel about that? How do you feel about Surons and Q-Bergs in general?
How do I? Okay. Can you say that again, because it was a little choppy. One more time.
So Suron, I think that's the bike that he was on, or he was on some type of electric trail bike. How do you feel about those kinds of bikes in relation to, like, you know, our group rides and what we do? I mean, they're cool. I know they're cool.
Well,
But
I mean,
what do you think about them?
I definitely wouldn't put them in the same category as what we ride, like as far as like street riding and just the build concept design all around with them. They're definitely appealing to the eye if you're into like dirt riding, but I definitely wouldn't put them in the category with the bikes that we ride. Definitely not. It's not the same thing. At least I don't see it the same way.
So the only other news I was able to dig up was actually something that one of our guys, or one of those squad members up here, mentioned in our off-topic thread. National Park Service, they're finally getting back to debating or declaring a ruling on e-bikes in national parks.
I hope it's in our favor.
Yeah, because from what I'm aware, it's gray, right? We're in a gray area. Like, you know the signs on bike trails saying no motorized vehicles? Those signs are how old, right? Those signs are like for segways and for go-peds, like gas vehicles.
Yes, of course. Obviously, that's just a given. Yep.
I know that. I think it's the people trying to preserve the parks. I remember one of the I dove down this rabbit hole before, and it was like, oh, you're degrading the trails quicker than they should be. Your bikes are heavier. You guys are ruining the trails faster, and they won't be around for much longer if you guys are on it.
Is that legitimately an argument you've been given already?
Or you've heard?
I've read it. Haven't really dove into the white papers, and like, you know, when you dive into the internet, when you dive into Reddit and wikis, it can go both ways. Like, there's currently no solid white paper or long-term evidence that shows that an 80-pound bike puts more stress on a trail. Like I'm 200 pounds.
I would definitely think it. I would definitely not agree with whatever that assumption would be. I'm like, that doesn't even. I mean, I get it. I get it if it was like something with high torque, a bit heavier, where you're, you know what I mean, where you're really treading through a trail. But all our bikes, in no way do they output that kind of power. You know, all that type of bandwidth where they're tearing up the ground. They're e-bikes. They're friendly.
Yeah.
They're earth friendly. There should be no reason to look at them as something negative or something that could possibly damage our roads. You know, if anything, we're contributing to changing things. You know, and you know, fossil fuels will be in the past in one day, and we're paving the roads, man. This is with the new way that, you know, the new way of riding. And if anything, I think we're contributing to something positive, you know, and saying, hey, we can still ride. And if you want to get a little bit more excitement than just using your legs to power and, you know, putt around, then this is the option. But as far as it in any way being a threat, I think that's crazy. I don't buy it for a second, you know. And I know it sounds biased because I ride these e-bikes, but just looking at it straightforward, you know, like just no, that's insane. I don't see that, you know. There's variables, you know. If we get a lot of rain and soils are not good, you know, the mountains have a lot of runoff, things like that could, you know, definitely damage our roads, you know, our trails and whatnot. But not an e-bike. No, I just don't.
Hiking trails in general, they're usually made up of bedrock. It's not like it's just, oh, on the mountain we've walked down. Like there's been work, right? There's bedrock and there's compressed loam. It's compacted. It's not like it's just loose shifting dirt on top.
Yep, that's kind of how it works.
Entry-level mountain bikes, they can be, I mean, I know ultralight mountain bikes, like single alpine track stuff, like that stuff is less than 20 pounds for sure. But like run-of-the-mill mountain bike, all the equipment and the rider, that's the bike is still going to be around 25, 30 pounds. Which in relation to our bikes, right? Our bikes are only double, a little bit over double. And it's like, I'm 200 pounds, my bike is 60, 65. What's an extra 30 pounds if I'm riding a normal mountain bike, right?
Yeah, I'm not buying that. Well, hopefully, you know, when the time comes, we have enough people to voice this and not come off, you know, upset or in any way look like we're defending ourselves. It's a matter of putting out the facts, you know, putting out the facts and then the rebuttals. If they have proof that that's the case, then maybe then you look at it, you know, in a different way. But as of right now, like, show me the proof.
Yeah, there's just not enough data right now. And data or not, people are going to fight it till the end of time, but let's get the data.
Right. But at the end of the day, show me the proof, and then maybe then you'll change my mind. That's kind of how I feel about that. So,
anyways, that's it for the news, Will. Ready to move on? Need to get a cup of water or anything? Cool. Awesome. So, this is probably the portion where we're going to focus on you, or more so your bike. So, talk about your bike for a bit, because I know you mentioned earlier that you went from 36 to 48 volt, which is an amazingly popular mod right now. So many benefits, and just let's put a spotlight on your bike. Go ahead and give yourself some props.
Well, not to toot on my own horn, because basically thanks to the community, I've been able to, you know, pick up ideas from different people that are in the modding community, and using all that information, all those tidbits, I've been able to do something for myself, which feels amazing. You know, I'm fairly new in the community, just a couple months deep, you know, about 5 months. And so slowly I'm getting more momentum and starting to meet more people. But everything I've done at this point has been on my own, you know, without having someone that has some insight or anyone in person. Pretty proud of my build, actually. So basically I started with the Z1 and got that, went around the block a few times with it, you know, when I received it, and I was just like, my goodness, this isn't going to work for me. I have a background in mopeds. And, you know, throughout the 90s, I used to build mini bikes, you know, with like 3.5 horsepower engines. And so I'm used to a little bit more power and a little bit more top end. And so, I mean, I guess I had to deal with what I had, and, you know, what they say, you make the best of what you have at the moment. So I did.
I went ahead and ripped out pretty much all of the old wiring. I installed a controller that supports 36 and 48 volts. I popped in a 48 volt battery that's claimed to be 20 amp hours or whatever. It's not quite the case, but through all of that and my fine tuning, I got a bike that's keeping up with everything that's up to date right now. Besides, non Super 73 brands like the Onyx or whatever. But as far as Super 73 goes, I'm right there with the big boys, and I'm pretty stoked on that. I mean,
Yeah,
I did
you can
that
leave me
mod.
anytime. I'm still on a stock S1.
Yeah, right. I have a dual battery on there. Currently I have a secondary battery that's a 36 volt, which was for my original mod that I did, where I just kept it stock with dual 36 volt batteries just for more range, because a Z1 stock, is going to give you anywhere between 15 and 17 miles of that, and that's not enough riding time, at least for my style and the type of riding that I like to do. So I had to double that at least. So I went that route, then needed the speed, went ahead, did the 48 volt mod underneath the seat. So I kept the external 36 battery on the front. I went ahead and needed to have some lighting. So I rigged up my own lighting system with a separate battery just for that, for the front end. Still working on the back, where I'd like to have like a brake light of some sort, but I just usually clip on like a flashing bicycle light.
Mm-hmm.
I also added some pegs on the back for some style, when I'm doing top speeds, of which I realized I go ahead and lean forward and I put my legs on the pegs, which kind of squeezes me down, and it seems to kind of cut the air a little better. So aerodynamics wise, but all that, it does in fact help. So when I do that, I do see an increase of maybe like a mile and a half more in velocity, which sounds kind of crazy, but hey, it's working for me. I also recently, just yesterday, uh, added some shorter handlebars on there, which are more like the old like moped style ones, were a lot more low pro style handlebars. So now it fully looks like a little like racer. It's almost getting close to like what you would call a cafe racer, which I'm just absolutely loving the look because of its low profile design. Um, that's where I'm at the moment. I'm looking to upgrade the fork to like actual suspension on the front end. Gonna be removing the 36 volt battery in the front, adding another 48 to get more range. Just found out about a great website by the name of Lightspeed, and they have all kinds of really cool batteries and upgrades that are specific for Super 73s and other types of bikes. So that's pretty cool that I found out about that. So I'll be definitely using that website for the rest of my upgrades. What can I say? My bike's kicking ass at this point. I did a ride yesterday, which is like a high speed ride, where in other words, where you're on full throttle the whole time out in the Los Angeles area.
Oh yeah, I was talking to Frank earlier, and he said there's like 6 or 7 of you.
Yeah. And it was 5 Super 73s and this little off-brand e-bike. I don't recall the name, but just one of those little guys that puts around like around 18 miles per hour. And there was an S1 also. And so the other 3 bikes were, if I'm correct, an R model and I believe 2 S2s and my Z1. Well, I can happily say that I was leading the pack. I was leading
Your
the pack.
your Z2.
About that is, yeah, my Z2. My Z2. Yeah, we made it official, right? That's what we're calling it, the Z2.
That's what I've been
Yeah,
calling it.
I was kicking ass. We were doing some hill climbing. I was staying up front, going down the hills, definitely smoking everyone. I guess what I did notice is, those bikes have a stronger motor, just stock. So the beginning process of the climb itself, they get a little bit of advantage. But if I see that I'm going to hit a hill, I just gun it, maybe.
You use the momentum.
Yeah, I use the momentum up, half a block before. As soon as I notice that, I just step on it, lean into it. I make sure that my PSIs on my tires are a little higher than what they recommend, which is 20 PSIs on my front and back. So I go to like maybe 24, 25-ish or so that when I'm leaning forward, I'm not, in a sense, digging into the ground as I'm going up. So there, so it gives less. And fly up the damn hill, and it feels amazing because I look at the bikes around me and they're a lot taller. The profile design of them all, you know, they look more like a bike that you would expect to hit those types of speeds. And my little bike kind of looks, you know, like a novelty type bike, like a 70s
Mini
mini
bike.
bike, you know? Yeah, and to see the mini bike romping on you know the big boy bikes as they refer to them, the R and the RX and the S2.
The big boys.
It's awesome. Yeah, yeah. So I will toot my horn in that sense, where it's not me doing it, it's the bike. Gotta love the Z2.
Awesome. Thanks for
Yep.
sharing. Like, I got a good amount of that story, but there's stuff there that I haven't heard before from you. Like, we hung out a couple weeks ago, so that was great to get more of that full-blown story.
Yeah.
Can't wait for future progress. I will click like, subscribe, and ring that bell for you.
I'm definitely looking forward to getting my bike out there more and just exposing it to the masses that are being created in this community, because everything at the moment it seems to be in small little like groups of people that are kind of cliquey, and as they get to know other little cliques, if that's what you'd call them, then they start to kind of venture out and meet up with other people, and basically all I'm trying to do is get out there and expose myself to everyone and give people the chance to say, hey, that guy's fun to ride with, or hey, we don't like that Z2, it's too fast. F that guy.
And that's my namesake.
Those will be the guys I'll be visiting more often, you know, when I get that feedback, you know.
And that's
like,
that's my namesake. I'm the Nomad. I'm the Super 73 Nomad. I take stories with me. I get more. I retell the stories that I hear. I just keep spreading it, and like a fart in the wind, I disappear.
Nice. I love it. I love that analogy.
I can't, that last part can't be part of the brand. I need to come up with something better for that. That's still bad, but it's so easy. It's easy to say. I gotta stop saying. I gotta stop shaking that as part of my brand.
It makes sense. It makes sense, and your linger sticks. Your linger sticks, and it stays around. You won't forget that. You won't forget it.
No, right? Man, that's just a double egg I got with my ramen. I'm good.
Yeah.
We're almost towards the end of it. I think two more segments in my head. So, you're fairly new to the community with your Z2, but you've been doing a lot of riding, and you have experience with goat peds and or earlier bikes. Like I know you did early '90s bikes like off one rippers.
Yes.
Yeah. So
yeah, I've been.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're right. I've been riding on two wheels since I was a kid in the mid '80s, and so I grew up riding BMX. Then from there, I grew up, and then I got into like building custom bicycles, like literally custom bikes that look like choppers, lowrider bikes. These tall bikes that in the modern day they call freak bikes, but this is in the early '90s. So my design concept completely different than what you would normally see, which I call internet bikes these days. I got into building go-karts as a kid, mini bikes. In my 20s, I got really heavily into cycling with riding road bikes, learning about geometries and your cadence and whatnot. So hopping on like an electric e-bike, if that's what we're calling them, the e-bikes. It's like a second nature. It just feels like something that's, the pedals just helps, but once you get going, it's basically like a bicycle, right? It goes a bit faster. It's got wider tires, so you got better stability. So the handling feels safer right off the go, I feel right at home riding those things, and so it's the best, man. It's great. It's something new that I'm fully embracing because I see myself sticking with this and doing my part to contribute in whatever way I can to the community, to say, yo, that's that guy, that flies on the Z2 and he's good at riding or at leading and just putting the ideas together, But at the end of the day, it comes down to riding and riding with caution, being safe about how you ride, but at the same time having fun, And with that said, as long as you can have fun and you keep it safe, there's nothing wrong with a little high speed, And some of that edgier stuff that some people kind of frown upon. Hey, I have a background in going a lot faster than what these bikes typically do stock. So I'm looking forward to full speed ahead, and having fun with it and keeping safe at the same time. since the last time we hung out, I stepped my game up. You know, becoming more of like the advocate of safety. I got myself
Oh my
a thing
gosh,
called
really,
Nomad.
really quick. That's just like the perfect segue into the next segment, which is you ride in your local group, and like you said, the little cliques, the little the local super squads, they all have their own like niches, their unwritten rules, and like kind of stuff that works for stuff that they do specific to their region for their group riding style. What is the number one core value in your SoCal riding group? In regards to, it can be group rides or just riding in general.
It seems to be safety. That's the key thing. I seem to notice with most groups, including the group that I'd ride with, is everyone's really about talking about their helmets and their lights and their mirrors and what they've got, and at first I was kind of like, well, I guess, I mean, these bikes don't really go that fast, to be honest, just from the get-go. So the safety thing was really never a concern. But as you start to embrace people's riding styles, and you realize that some people have more experience than others, some people haven't really ridden much, and then they jumped on these bikes. That safety part of it is really important, just for the benefactor of everyone as a whole. You don't want to be riding with someone that's not that experienced, where they make the wrong move, and at going 20 whatever miles per hour they end up getting hurt.
It may
That
not
would totally
even be
suck. So
them. Like,
um,
shout out to Steven. Steven took a pretty big hit earlier this week, if I remember right. He's not gonna.
oh no, yeah, definitely. I mean, things can happen at the blink of an eye, and you're definitely right about that, where it's not necessarily always people's negligence on their riding styles. But where I'm getting at it, it's more likely that people are going to get hurt because they're not as experienced, and something like that happens where they don't react properly. Freak accidents do happen. That's a factor of life. But I really think that it comes down to that. Being really visual about the way you're riding, your technique, your style, and how you go about it.
So
I'm embracing.
make your intentions clear. Ride,
Yeah,
ride,
yeah, yeah.
ride your own ride. And if you're having problems like keeping up at that point, like in our area, in our group, we never have a problem waiting up or slowing down the pace or the cadence of the ride. But yeah,
Right.
ride your own ride to your style. With enough time and experience, like, you'll be keeping up or even ahead. Like, look at you. You're
Yeah. Yeah, I
Awesome.
think maybe that's one of my things, that I may have to start to like consider, and really keep in my mind when I'm riding, that not everyone is trying to, push their bikes and go, top speed. And me being an adrenaline junkie with my background, just my lifestyle and what I've done for a living, and everything. I'm a speed demon, Um, not fast enough for me at this point, my bikes, but I'm really happy with where I'm getting with it. But definitely, I am supporting the safety thing these days, and I, I'm really happy to know that not everyone thinks the way that I did when I first started riding. Everyone I've met seems to be on point with wanting to have safety first, and the helmets, and riding a lot slower for that reason. That if you're not as experienced, you have a little bit more time to react than if you're hauling ass and you're not experienced and something just comes out in front of you. You'll have less time to react because of you not being
For
that
me, it's
experienced.
about act. For me personally, it's about it's like defensive driving. It's a mentality, right? I never feel like I want to react to something spontaneous. I want to be able to have it in my mind. If this happens, I'll do this, and I'll act this way. I don't. For me, if there's a chance to react, there's a chance to react the wrong way. But if I already have it in my head, like, okay, if this car cuts in front of me while I'm on my bike, what am I gonna do? I'll hit the brakes. I'll pull over to the right. I don't want to be reacting. I want to know what I would do in that situation.
Yeah, yeah. You definitely need to think about stuff like that, and that's really smart of you to know that. I mean, you have enough experience with your riding
Oh
that
no, it's
that's
all
all.
driving. It's driving
Yeah, well,
that I applied to
yeah,
riding.
that is true. That is true. I just, a car, you have like a shell basically around you, where if things go bad and you have no control, you just kind of get tossed around inside of the vehicle. Hopefully, you won't fly out through the windshield. But you know, on these little bikes, there's really nothing.
There's no buffer.
Right. So, you know, things go bad.
Yeah.
You're gonna fly. You know, if it goes bad the wrong way, like in the extra wrong way, like the worst way, you're gonna fly and yeah, have some safety gear on so that if you fly, you don't crash and burn. You know.
Key takeaway: safety. So let's transition to something else. We'll step away from the bikes in a bit, and we'll focus on you a bit more.
Sure.
I know that you do more than just bikes, and then we have a common hobby. It's a hobby for me, or I'm an enthusiast. Not even an enthusiast, but you're a collector of some really cool stuff.
Some would say that I'm a collector. Sure. Yeah. Let's go for it. Where are we getting at here?
Do share about cartridges, arcade machines, the 90s. That's awesome.
Yeah. That sounds like stuff that I like, definitely. Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm like really, really like passionate about the 80s and the 90s and my childhood, you know, and my upbringing in the suburbs and pop culture and the 90s as a teenager and just, you know, what's evolved. You know, I'm really into gaming, you know, like a classic arcade gaming, fighting games. And I think it has like something to do with just how appealing it is, you know, that video games were at the very forefront of when technology got to that point that at home you were able to control something that you're looking at the television. You know, before you could have a computer at home, you had like a ColecoVision, an Atari or whatnot, you know, and you're actually able to physically interact with your television screen.
It's like the mouse for the computer. The first time, like, the mouse was the thing, like, oh, this is weird. Why do you need this? It's not a keyboard. What it will do? And then once people moved the mouse and they saw it move relative to something on the screen, it's like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Yep.
Video games just takes that to a whole different level.
A completely different level, especially the more primitive way with the arcade gaming, where it evolved to some point, you know, to a point where, you know, instead of just having diagonals like up, down, left, right, by inputting, you know, a combination of inputs, you know, back, forward, down, and a button or two at the same time, then it sends that signal, which in return gives you these commands that the characters you're playing with do moves and shoot fireballs and whatever, and it's amazing. So yeah, I'm a really big collector. I collect arcade machines from the early mid 90s. The early 80s stuff is a little too early for my era, though I do have a couple classics like Miss Pac-Man and Galaga, because those are kind of like the must-haves, you know. But yeah, I'm really, really into like the Neo Geo subculture of arcade gaming. I'm like 11 cartridges short of like a full set, which is like a really ginormous accomplishment in the collecting world, because that literally can take years, you know, decades even, to get to that point where you've been able to obtain these games. And so it's something that I don't know. I don't really say that like I'm a collector or I'm this diehard guy. It's just I'm just crazy about my era, and that's the way that I display it, you know, by having these amazing relics in my home that are accessible to those that have that common interest, you know.
And I'll definitely put pictures in this video about that if you want to send me some.
Yeah, we'll pan around and just do kind of like, if you know, if that works or whatever. But you know, that's some of my stuff. This is my living room we're looking at right now.
I don't see a camera, but we'll just we'll put some video.
Ah, okay, fair enough. But yeah, we'll have to do like a video and so you know, you could fully see what's going on here, your viewers. And tomorrow, hopefully things work out, we will be hanging out, right?
Oh, we're hanging out for sure. I'm getting home tonight. I mean, I'm trying to get my 3-speed together tonight. I had to get a different chainring in the front because the 332nd chain didn't quite fit on my aftermarket chainring. It was like, it's 1/8, but it's supposed to be, you know, sometimes you get lucky and it'll fit. It doesn't fit. So I have a new chainring waiting for me in LA. I'm going to slap that on tonight, tune in the derailleur, and then happy days.
Nice. I like it. I like it. Okay.
So I'm about to
Yeah,
get some
so-
Mountain Dew part, and the timing is working out pretty good. So the last thing I have for you, Will, is what does your local squad have going on, and a call to action for other riders. Not just in your region, not just in my region, but you know, our national and international super squad.
Wow, that was completely chopped up. It sounded like somebody speaking underwater. You're gonna have to go through that all over again. All I heard was international super squad or something within that. So one more time.
Lay down a challenge or a call to action for the super squad. Mud lock.
Okay. One more time. I'm like, honestly, I can't hear you. It's really bad. I don't know if
Let me
you're like
let me text you
by a
really.
canyon or in the mountains or whatnot.
Okay. Call to action or a challenge for the super squad, national or international. Hold on. Hey, Will, I'm definitely going through a mountain right now.
Ah, okay.
I have strong signal, so I'll get it through. A call to action for the super squad.
What action?
A call to action.
Yeah, it's cutting off. I could barely hear you. I'm so sorry.
No, it's completely my fault. I timed this pretty bad, but check your text message.
Okay, that sounds even better. Give me 1 second here. Ooh, we're techie. Call to action for the super squad. Okay. Call to action for the super squad. Okay, so now we're going that with.
Yeah, go ahead and say it out because we're recording this on Zoom, and I'll just get this part from Zoom audio.
Okay. Call to action for the super squad. Right? Okay. And then you mentioned that, and then you said what else?
That's it. That's basically it. Do lay down a challenge or a call to action for the super squad.
Lay down a challenge or call to action for the super squad. I'm super lost here. I'm so sorry.
Oh no, it's fine. Again, this is the pilot. If it doesn't make sense right now, totally fine. I'm not worried about it. It just means I need to develop this more. But we're good there because I'm about to go through another hill. Go ahead and plug your YouTube and Instagram and social media so we know where to find you.
Okay. Well, my YouTube is in the works right now, so I definitely will not be dropping that at the moment because I have some really cool content that I've got put together. I'm hoping to work with some people to just further make my YouTube up to par with all these guys that have the head advantage of me. But my Instagram is all things nostalgic, and it's a pretty cool IG. You may or may not like it depending on your sense of humor. I'll leave it at that. But it basically covers it's what it is. It's all things nostalgic. So expect to see all kinds of rad stuff from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Some toilet humor because I'm from the Beavis and Butthead generation. So take it for what it is. It's all humor, but there's some rad stuff on there that I like to share on the daily with people. My home is like Christmas every day when I come home with packages of all types of great things from all around the world, whether it's for gaming, vintage clothing, skateboarding stuff, BMX vintage stuff, and now e-bike stuff. So all things nostalgic. Instagram.
Awesome. We'll get that on the screen. Definitely will have videos and stuff. Will, you are the pilot episode. This has been awesome. And I can't wait to see you in like 14 hours. Or 15-ish hours. Yeah.
I can't wait. I can't wait, man. My bike will be ready for tomorrow, and the arcade machines and the good times here will be waiting for us after we have a great time on our bikes.
Awesome, man. Thanks for calling. I'm gonna hang up now. I don't know how I'm gonna end these things, but maybe there'll be music, maybe there won't be. But yeah, thanks again for helping out with this.
No worries.
You should see the lineup. A couple people of note. Rick Cordero said, "Yeah, we're about to shut down for the winter, so I'm down to do some not riding Super 73 stuff." Like you said, content creators helping other content creators, lifting each other up, and that's what we're about. So.
I like it. I like it. I like where this is going. Thank you for hitting me up about being part of this, and it's my honor. I'm honored. I'm honored to be the guy for the pilot.
Yeah,
that's the one that people usually check out and they go, "Oh man, this is a fucking train wreck. What is going on here?" But hopefully, I made some sense and people enjoyed my babbling. And thank you for having me.
Yeah, and like what's cool is like these just don't have to be on my channel. We can do cross content creator, like you host someone else and it just keeps going down the row, you know? It's not just
I like
a
it.
channel for these things. It's like a multi-series. It's a series across multiple channels. It's like was it DC Universe's stuff, like part of the season ending special is on Arrow, and then the next one's on Supergirl, and then the next one's on part of it's on the Flash, and together it tells a whole story.
Let's get it. I'm with it. I'm with that idea. We will
All right,
definitely be spitballing some ideas. So I'll let you continue on the road. Keep it safe. Hope that everything works out for you tonight. That bike's rolling for tomorrow, which I'm sure it will be. But
I brought all my stock. I brought all my stock stuff.
Hope it all works out.
It's the getting it for tonight and tomorrow. It's just gonna be a flex, you know. But yeah.
Yep. Okay, sounds great.
Yeah.
Thanks again. See you soon.
All righty. We'll be in touch, man. Take her easy. Drive safely.
So that was fucking awesome. I did not expect it to go that long for sure, but I definitely enjoy the conversation, the stories, and it's really awesome. It's really exciting to think that I'm trying out different types of content. I never even saw myself as a content creator, to be honest. Like, being in front of the camera, talking. I don't like the way my voice sounds most of the time. Sometimes I think I sound too awkward or flat or weird. Or like I'm trying too hard, or like I'm reading from a script. But I'm finding myself. And doing the pilot, whiteboarding ideas with Jay and Mose, it's exciting and fun, and I'm out of my comfort zone, and I'm growing a lot because of it, because I'm not in my comfort zone. You grow the most when you move out of your comfort zone, and I will leave this video at that, and I will get back to driving. Thanks for watching.